Hi everyone, going to do a preview. It's Tuesday the 30th of July, and of course the main thing coming up are the Olympic Games, but just going to mention a couple of events going on from a personal point of view as well. Got some athletes that are in our training group who are competing. We got the Wimbledon 3000 metres evening on the Saturday the 3rd of August. I don't think I can be there because I've got to be at the National Athletics League playoff final. It is for the championship to see who goes into the Premiership. That's at Bedford on Saturday, and there's also the Premiership final match of the season going on elsewhere, and that'll be shown on Vinco Runner Space. Also, it's quite interesting. We're going to see some odd situations where athletes are popping up in unfamiliar events that are going on. For example, the following Saturday is the British Milers Club Grand Prix at Bury near Manchester. That's because the Trafford track is being relayed, etc. But you wouldn't expect to see Cooper Teare from the USA racing in Bury near Manchester on a Saturday evening in August, but he's entered, so presumably he's looking for a race while travelling around Europe just to fill in the gap. And there is a gap between many events because the Olympic Games is going on. So anyway, turning to the Olympic Games, it starts on Thursday as far as the athletics are concerned. There's already been quite a lot of drama in various other sports going on. You can go on World Athletics and you can see the entry lists there, and you can see previews of each event which are still going up, which give you an idea, linked to ranking lists, world bests and stuff like that. So you can see quite a lot of form. What I will say is, even for somebody who's heavily invested in the sport like myself, or presumably quite a few of you, it's really difficult to predict winners in loads of the events. There are betting odds going on, and I've just discovered today there are a few that are taking bets on medalists rather than just the winner. Unfortunately for me, I placed a few £2 bets on athletes just to win, and as I go through, I'll give you some examples of what I've gone for, on the basis that if you bet on the evens favourites, you're still going to miss out quite a lot. But if one or two of the real long shots come up, which they could do, then you could be all right. So it's only a bit of fun. Wouldn't advise anyone bets, but it adds a little bit of something to the occasion. So the walks start on Thursday. I'm not going to particularly review them, not my area of expertise. I'm really going to focus on the middle distance and longer distance events. Friday the 2nd of August, we got the men's 1500 metres heat straight in with that. I suspect there'll be drama. Lots of people hoping to... Sorry about that. That's my dog barking. No, he's hopeless. Sorry about that. Talking about the 1500 metre heats. He's sort of settled down. That's one of them there. Yeah, so there's going to be quite a lot of interest in that. Of course, from Britain's point of view, we've got Josh Kerr, George Mills, and Neil Gorley all going in that. And then in the evening, we got the women's 5,000 metre heats, the women's 800 metre heats with Keeley and Phoebe Gill and Gemma Reekie, and then we got the men's 10,000 metres final. So it's all really kicking off Friday evening in Paris. Then 3rd of August, quieter evening actually from a distance point of view. We've got the women's 100 metres final, but other than that, not a huge amount going on. And then you can go through and see all the other schedules. Looking at some of the big ones, we've got the Sunday, the women's semi-finals of the 800. Monday, we got the final, the women's 800. We got the men's 1500 metre final on Tuesday evening, the semi-finals on Sunday evening. and then not until the Saturday, the 10th of August, we got the men's 800 metre final and the women's 1500 metre final, with pretty much every night something of interest for distance runners and middle distance runners going on. So let's just go through what I've got in terms of potential winners. And I might mention some of the sprints. Noah Lars, obviously one of the favourites in the 100 and obviously a hot favourite in the 200. But I've gone with Kenny Bednarek as an outsider, top class performer, often gets it right. And even though he's a 28-1 outsider in the 100, there are many within a few hundredths of a second. And we've seen it in the swimming. Anything can happen there. 400, we got Matthew Hudson-Smith from Great Britain, perhaps the favourite. I've gone with Stephen Gardner, who's a consistent performer, a bit more of an outsider, but he doesn't tend to lose. So if he's fit over 3 rounds, I think he's got a good chance. Very smooth runner. 1500, low odds on Ingebrigtsen. He's actually the favourite with many of the bookies rather than Josh Kerr, which is interesting because Josh Kerr's not done anything wrong since beating Ingebrigtsen in the World Champs last year. My outsider was Niels Laros in that, and it's he's a way outsider, and he has run 2:14 for a world under 20 1,000 metre record, but he's fallen in 2 races since. And in the London Diamond League, he got up and finished 4th in 3:49. So something goes wrong. There's a sniff there. 800, Ben Patterson, Great Britain. Perhaps not the favourite. Probably Sajati's the favourite, but Wanyonyi, also from Kenya, has run 1:41, and he's right up there in the odds. But Ben Patterson, 33-1 outsider. Now, the other day in Italy, he posted on Strava that he did a session, which was 800 metres in 1:13.8, and then 8 minutes later a 400 in 48.4, I think it was. So he's clearly on form. The big question is, are some of those guys who've been running 1:41 going to just come off that peak a little bit? 3 rounds, again, anything can happen over 3 rounds. By the time you get a 3rd round, some will have been shot, and certainly the semi-finals are going to be really tough to get through. So there's a few there. I've mentioned windmill medal shouts might not even get to the final. It's that tight. The 5,000 on the men's side would probably go with Ingebrigtsen, simply because he just doesn't lose, and I can't see the Africans making it so fast that he will be dropped. Even if it's 12:50, he'll still be there. And then on the 10,000, again, there's the likes of Chilimo, Kiplimo from Uganda, up against the likes of Barega, etc., from Ethiopia, including Kajelcha in there. Really difficult to call. I'd probably go with Barega myself, but yeah, not one you really want to have a bet on. The 110 hurdles, well, anything can go wrong in the 110 hurdles. Grant Holloway, the really hot favourite, but there's a few if something just slightly goes wrong, like Crittenden and Roberts from the USA. I've gone for Roberts with value for money there. He's broken 13 seconds, still 12-1. You know, anyone who's watched the 110 hurdles, so much can go wrong. 400 hurdles is a 3-way battle between Benjamin, Warholm, and Dos Santos, of course. Warholm, lots of people going for Benjamin, but I'll go for Warholm on that. And then we've got the steeplechase and the marathon. I've gone from El Bakkali. So difficult, and a lot of these events are really difficult to predict because so many have raced so little, including El Bakkali hasn't raced for a while. But if he's fit and healthy, then I'd expect him to perhaps beat Girma for the gold medal. The marathon, lots of talk about Kipchoge and Bekele doing that, and yeah, sentiment would say, yeah, wouldn't it be great to see those two battling it out? the course and the weather will have a major impact. Although I must admit the weather in Tokyo didn't have as the impact everyone thought it might be, because it was still won by Kipchoge in a very fast time. So I've gone as an outsider for Minyao from Kenya, who's got a good pedigree and been, winning, etc. But again, could be anything. Emil Chris and Mohammed and Phil Sessman going for Great Britain in that. And I've picked some people for the field events, but let's go to the women's events. Women's 100, Sha'Carri Richardson probably the favourite there. Shericka Jackson, bit of unknown form because she hasn't raced again recently. But I've gone for Julian Alfred, who's publicly claimed she hates the 200 and loves the 100. Again, hundredths of a second involved in that. Similarly with the 200, Alfred coming back for that, plus others. But I've gone for Gabby Thomas from the USA. Had a really slow start and still won at the London Diamond League. So fingers crossed she gets that right. Gone for Price in the women's 400. And then you've got the battle between Tsegay, who hasn't raced that much and is entered in the 5 and the 10 as well on the women's side. She's run 350.03. Kip Yegan's run 349.04. Kip Yegan, really hot favourite there. You got Jess Howell that's run 350.83 as well. If you want an outside, you could go for Tsegay on the basis she ran 350 first time out, hasn't raced much since, no known form, but could just be focusing on the Olympics, who knows. And then we got the women's 100 hurdles. Interesting, I was listening to Atto Bolden, I think it was, saying about Camacho Quinn, who on last time out, she's got a disqualification for a false start that's sort of thrown her out a little bit. But I did notice she's coming back into form and run some quick time or two recently, and she wouldn't be the favourite there. So Camacho Quinn there. Sydney McLaughlin against Femke Bol in the 400 hurdles. Got to go for McLaughlin because she doesn't lose, but pressure does funny things. And then on the steeplechase, I've gone for Pereth Chemutai, fastest in the world this year. And in the marathon, the defending champion, Peres Cheche, who's a good racer. But again, you've got others in the mix who have entered other events as well, who could come up trumps. So, yeah, very, very difficult to predict. If you wanted a nail-on favourite, you'd probably go in the pole vault with Duplantis, of course, on the men's side. Probably the biggest favourite of everybody. Crazy price there. But again, I've seen, he has been known to lose occasionally. So who knows? Should be really good. I've rambling a little bit, but yeah, that's what I've got. So 10 minutes worth of me rambling on about the Olympics, and but there should be a lot of drama. We know that. That's the one prediction you can get right. So hope you all enjoy it. Starts Thursday with the walks and goes right through to the women's marathon on Sunday the 11th of August. Have a good week.